Okay, the ABC, the taxpayer-funded national broadcaster, did a big program launch yesterday for what they're planning to show everybody next year at your expense. And have a look at some of the publicity around that. This tweet that was put up of one of their publicity shots showing a lot of their programs and their hosts. And it's been tweeted out by Osman Faruqi. He's a former ABC worker, a former ABC journalist. And he says, "Do the people who run ABC News not understand how weird this looks?" And he's got the photos from the organisation. He thinks this looks weird because there's not enough diversity there. Let's bring in the Institute of Public Affairs, Gideon Rozner here. Gideon, I hate to play the same identity politics that they love, but he makes a point. They're all pretty much, middle-aged white people.
Chris, I couldn't care less what skin pigmentation all these people have, but the ABC does. I mean, they have signed up hook, line and sinker to the identity politics agenda, and they're being hoisted by their own petard. I don't have any sympathy for them. But the funniest thing is also that all the talk about diversity and inclusion and having they mean, again, skin deep things like sexual organ and skin pigmentation. But when it comes to diversity of thought, of opinion, of perspective, diversity of facts and analysis, that's absolutely nowhere to be found, and they completely reject the need for it at all and the fact that there's a problem there.
No, I think that's exactly the point. I couldn't care less about the colour of people's skin or their gender or whatever, although the ABC has a bit of diversity there. The point is there is no intellectual diversity, no ideological diversity. They have hard green left and a green left, they have moderate left, they have trade union left. They just have various shades of left. When are they going to get some ideological diversity, which, strangely enough, they're required to reflect by law?
Yeah, look, when I was preparing for the show, I actually looked at the Twitter account of all the fallout from that, and James Morrow made the same point I did, saying they need intellectual diversity. And Lee Sales fires back and says, "Oh, well, I know all those presenters and I don't know how they vote." Well, firstly, I think she could take a pretty good guess. But secondly, how they vote as private citizens is completely irrelevant. It is about the way in which they present information. Again, it's about the perspectives. It's about their take on our history, on immigration, on climate change, on the economics and things like that. But to answer your question, I don't think they will get more diverse, Chris. I think they'll get less diverse. You have to remember the ABC is actually a 20th century mass broadcaster operating in a 21st century media landscape. With audience fragmentation, they're trying to chase their loyal base, as any other organisation would. Fine. The problem is they're doing it on our tax dollars and on our dime. So I think they'll continue to make themselves irrelevant for mainstream Australians, but unfortunately that loyal core of an audience who just happen to be in the halls of power and have a lot of influence will continue to demand that we all have to fund for something that fewer and fewer of us are watching.
Let's have a look at another tweet from Osman Faruqi, and it highlights how the ABC is being hoisted by its own petard here. At some point when you're assembling these photos, you'd pause and think, something not quite right here. It should be so embarrassing that they shouldn't be able to get away with it. But who's going to hold them to account? Everywhere else is whiter. Lots of laugh. It's all about skin colour for him, but this is exactly the identity politics that the ABC likes to promote, as you mentioned. And when it comes to these issues, who's going to hold them to account? When are they going to have somebody who's sceptical about the role of renewable energy in our energy grid, who's sceptical about climate change alarmism, who might have who might be supportive of strong border protection pre-pandemic? I mean, this is the thing. It's all these ideological issues where there's a sameness. Not who knows about the secret ballot and how it's exercised, but there's an ideological sameness about the joint, isn't there, at our expense?
Chris, the day they hire somebody who isn't a rolled gold believer in renewable energy, I will come on your program with red underpants on my head. It ain't going to happen. It's not just that they don't agree with people who might say we should use the resources we have, like coal that we're shipping overseas, to power our own cities, or consider nuclear. It's that they find the term positively offensive and dangerous. And that's what I think is the most pernicious thing about the ABC. Yes, they're biased. Yes, they're doing it on our dime. But they're actually going after dissenting points of view. We at the IPA actually analyse this. And since Kevin Rudd...
I'll have to follow up on that. Sorry, Gideon, we're out of time. I appreciate it. I love some of the work the IPA
tune in next
does.
Week.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Gideon Rozner there from the IPA. We all want diversity at the ABC, diversity of ideas, of ideology, of approach and perspective. We ain't getting it.